What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video. If you're looking for the new meta after Season 1 has basically arrived, you're at the right video. I will show a little timeline if you want to skip through the video and just know the attachments of the guns, because what I'll be going through is basically the top 5 best weapons in XDefiant in order. It's a little bit of a personal opinion, of course, but I think these top 5 weapons at least are all extremely good, and I'll be showing the exact attachments that I'll be using and would recommend to make the gun as best as it possibly can be here as well. So let's get into it. Number 5, we are starting off with the P90, which is on the SMG class. It has a huge mag, which is really nice if you want to go on an absolute farm. Especially it's good for the game modes like Occupy, where there's a constant flow of action going. Basically, you don't really need extended mags on this weapon or anything, because you have the basic 50 bullets on the gun, which makes the P90 really good. The attachments that I would recommend using are the rapid fire for the barrel. Then you use Ridge, which increases the sprint to shoot time and the spread. Unfortunately, the horizontal recoil gets worse, but it's only 5%, so I definitely would recommend using this one. I use the reflex sights. Some people like the iron sights on the P90. If you like the iron sights on the P90, what you could switch to is either a quick mag, or with the muzzle booster you could go with the barrel extender. So if you like to use the iron sights, put this one away and go with either the quick mag or the barrel extender. If you're really good with control and recoil, you could also go with the muzzle booster, but I don't think it's really that necessarily on this gun. So those are the first. Then you have quick draw on the rear grip, which increases the sprint to shoot time and the ADS speed, and then padded to have the recoil recover ADS ability and ADS flinch control. ADS flinch control right now is a very useful one to put on your weapons as well. So that is the first gun in the top 5. Next up, and it's going to be the new weapon in the game, and this is a little bit of an interesting because I have 2 setups for you guys. It's the LVAO-C. I don't really know how to pronounce this weapon. It is the new assault rifle. You unlock this at Battle Pass level 20, in case you're curious. The gun is absolutely amazing. However, it plays a little bit more like an SMG than an assault rifle. It's really one of the most aggressive assault rifles in the entire game. So if you like to play aggressive, this is a gun for you. The setup that I use, I have 2 for you guys. First, I want to go into with my favorite one, which is the muzzle booster rapid fire, the tactical grip. Both of the muzzle booster and rapid fire increase the rate of fire. The tactical kind of covers that with a 35% increase of recoil recovery. Then I have the extended mag. This slows the weapon down, but it's definitely worth it because the rate of fire is so high, you're burning through the bullets really fast. And then I use padded also to increase our recoil recovery, to kind of cover up the rapid fire. These 2 attachments, the rapid fire increases, makes the gun literally into one of the fastest killing weapons in XDefiant. I got an extra setup for you guys, but this is more for me dependent on what game mode you're playing. So this is the iron sight setup, keep that in mind, there's no optic on this. Then if we're switching here, this is my sights setup, and I basically switched the muzzle booster, which I have right here, I have that unequipped, into the reflex sight. This setup works a lot better on a little bit more longer range maps, like Noodleplex or Liberty, for example. So I really like to have both of these setups, because the muzzle booster is gun, the gun becomes a lot more accurate, because obviously you don't have that minus horizontal and vertical recoil, and you have a reflex sight, which makes it a little bit easier to shoot players. The iron sights setup is definitely my favorite. It takes a bit to get used to. I kind of hated the iron sights first. I don't like iron sight gameplay in this game in general, but I noticed that if you get used to it, it's definitely worth it. Next up on number 3, we have the AK-47, which is probably a fan favorite. It's been an insane weapon since the start of this game, basically. It's on the assault class, of course. You'll unlock it pretty fast and pretty easy. And I have an interesting setup for you guys, which takes a little bit of time to get used to. But once you get used to it, it becomes an absolute beast. And one of the fastest killing weapons in this game. I feel like you cannot really compete with the AK-47. Besides that, I have an iron sight class set up on it. it so it's really hard to take out players on hit glitches and behind cover. I personally struggle a little bit with that, but other than that, in gunfight situations, the AK almost wins every single gunfight. So the setup that I have is the muzzle booster and the rapid fire. So you can see on the right side here, accuracy is almost completely down, but the mobility is all the way up. Basically, what I made this AK into a super aggressive, jumpy weapon. If you're into that jump shotting, go with this setup. So muzzle booster increasing the rate of fire, rapid fire increasing the rate of fire. And I have leather wrapped both for rear grip and front rail. This increases the ADS walking speed. However, you need to pre-aim with this because the sprint to shoot time is a little bit reduced with both of these attachments. It's -5%. And then we have the lightweight, which also increases the ADS walking speed. It basically is a super fast weapon. You will notice that if you're jumping sideways, you jump extremely far with this gun, which makes it really hard for your opponents to shoot you, basically. So in 1v1 situations around medium range, you become absolutely impossible to hit if you have a really good movement. So this is my AK-47 setup. Up next we have the best SMG in the entire game. It's the MP7. This gun is absolutely beaming. You will notice a lot of sweats are playing with this weapon, and I definitely understand why. This gun just feels like it can kind of cover any range really fast. It's not as fast as the Vector, which is also another submachine gun with a really high rate of fire, but it does definitely kill faster than any other SMG for medium range as well. So the MP7 is probably your best SMG pick in the game. Attachments that I'm using is the barrel extender, the heavy barrel, the small vert, quick draw, and lightweight. It basically makes it into a very fast gun. You gotta play it like an SMG, obviously, but this setup really makes it a lot faster. With the movement speed as well. Here's the ADS walking speed increase, quick draw increases sprint to shoot time, and lightweight increases the ADS walking speed. So the gun overall just functions a lot faster. Keep in mind that the heavy barrel reduces the rate of fire a bit, -10% rate of fire, but it's definitely worth using this one. Next up, the best gun in my opinion in the entire game, and has been for a while, is the ACR. The only thing with the ACR that I will say right away is that it doesn't work as good as the MP7 on maps like Arena or Echelon. So the very close range maps, you kind of want to be using the MP7 on, but other than that, I think the ACR just has it all basically. Especially with the right setup, which is the muzzle booster, rapid fire, leather wrapped, and leather wrapped again for rear grip and front rail, and then the reflex sight. If you notice, basically the same setup as the AK, except I put a reflex sights on it because I don't really like the iron sights. You will notice with this gun, you're basically winning all gunfights from any range. It's a little bit more controllable than the AK-47, a little bit more accurate, as you can see in the top right side, but the mobility again is really high, so be sure to be able to jump around a little bit, get your movement going, because if you have that with the firepower and extra mobility, it becomes one of the most deadly weapons in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it. Hopefully this video was useful for you guys. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because there's a lot more XDefiant content on its way.